Hey, college football fans, this is Gary Greene, longtime professional sports bettor here in Las Vegas for the past 35 years. And this year, Gary Wins Videos. And this is the fourth and final college football playoff game this weekend. And we'll get right to it. This game's going to be played in Columbus, Ohio at the Horseshoe. It's Tennessee and the Volunteers traveling to take on Ohio State and the Buckeyes. Ohio State is a 7-point favorite. The total is 46.5. The game time kickoff is going to be very, very cold, around 24 degrees. This game at 8 p.m. on ABC Saturday night. So this is the final game of the four. And when we look at this game, the keys to the game. First, big injury update. Ohio State will be without their top center, McLaughlin, who is also the best center in college football. They are already missing their left tackle and the backup left tackle. And boy, did that show up big time against Michigan in their regular season finale. Now, the keys to this game, Ohio State, as I mentioned, they struggled to run the ball inside against Michigan in that game, and they ended up losing the game 13-10. For the game on Saturday night, now they're facing a Tennessee Volunteer defense that is absolutely loaded. Okay, this defense right now, fifth in the nation overall on defense, fifth in the nation in scoring allowed, number one in the nation on third downs, number one in the nation in the red zone. They do not let you get big points on the board. They make you settle for field goals. As for the Ohio State defense, another defense absolutely loaded. They allowed over 17 points in a game one time this entire college football season, and that was in the loss 32-31 to Oregon, who is the number one defense and one of the top three offenses in the country. Three names to watch for Tennessee on defense. First guy is James Pierce Jr. This kid's a superstar. He's a beast. He's going to be a first-round draft pick in the NFL. He will wreak havoc in this game, especially against this offensive line of Ohio State that's weakened up by injury. Next up, you got two monsters of the midway here in the middle. These two kids, Eason and Thomas, both big boys. They're both over 300 pounds, and they stuff the run. They also have a really superior cornerback who is a SEC All-American. And this kid here, McCoy, he had 4 interceptions this year, so they're going to probably not look his way too much. And what's good about this is if you're a Tennessee Vol backer, he's going to probably go against the Ohio State's number one wide receivers, one of the tops in the country. So if you could just get him to not have a huge day, puts a lot of pressure on a quarterback in Howard, who I really don't like anyway. But the Michigan game, again, the defensive line, dominated offensive line for Ohio State. And I think that Tennessee's defense is much better than Michigan's defense, especially the defensive line. So it's going to be a tough sledding for Ohio State's offense, and I expect it's going to be a tough sledding for the Tennessee offense the same way. As for Ohio State's head coach, Ryan Day, this guy's on the hottest seat of all hot seats in this college football playoff. This guy not only has to win this game, he's got to win 3 in a row. He's got to win a national championship. If he loses this game, he will be fired by Monday. So very, very big game for him on Saturday night to finally get past that Michigan game and start giving these fans something to cheer about. When we look at the quarterback preview, we'll start off with Tennessee quarterback Amaleva. This kid passed for over 211 yards 2 times all year. So this kid is the most overrated quarterback. Every week I hear how great this kid is, and I've never seen it. I just don't get it. I guess it's one of these things that you come in and because they say you're great, the announcers read it and they have to say it. Nobody ever says the kid sucks. As for Ohio State, quarterback Will Howard, I'm still stunned this late into my season of college football that this was the best transfer portal quarterback that this team could get. This kid wasn't even that great at Kansas State, and you throw him on Ohio State with this loaded lineup, it doesn't make any sense. You could have had Cam Ward. It's just craziness. If Cam Ward was the quarterback of this team right now, they'd be winning the national championship, although they would struggle. It would be a little different now due to the injuries at the offensive line. But Will Howard, he faced 4 good defenses this year. He passed for 175, 201, and 182. He did have 1 good game in the 4, 326 yards against Oregon. And again, he came up big in that game, but Oregon's defense has shown that they have given up some big plays over the season, even though they're number 1 in the country. Neither quarterback's a running threat, so what it's going to come down to is this. Which one of these two can pass the ball for a touchdown when they get in the red zone? We already know the best red zone defense in the country is Tennessee's defense. So they're not going to allow you to run the ball with those two big boys in the middle. You're not running it up, even though I love the Ohio State running backs. Tough sledding. When your field gets shortened, you're going to put more pressure on the passing quarterback to pass it in there, and neither one of these guys, I would be afraid of both of these guys throwing the ball into the end zone. I would be really hoping that the running backs could get the job done. And although both teams possess good running backs, both teams don't possess good offensive lines. And I don't think they're going to bully the defensive lines either side of the ball. Okay, when we look at the situation here for Tennessee, they love to play man-to-man defense. But my theory is, you have to change things up a little bit on tape. It's one thing to try trick plays, but you got to show something different that the other team didn't do a lot all year to confuse the quarterbacks a little bit. With the situation of Tennessee, watching what Michigan did, a defense that's not even on the same par with theirs, the way they played zone all the way and just frustrated Howard, frustrated the offense. Chip Kelly didn't know what the hell to do calling plays for Ohio State. You wonder if they don't throw in a little bit of change here, some wrinkles doing that. Again, if they live by that man-to-man all game long, they may end up losing the game for it. As far as the two offensive lines, I've already mentioned it. I don't like either one. The two quarterbacks, kind of already mentioned it. Don't like either one. When I look at it, though, Tennessee tried that man-to-man against Georgia and their quarterback, Carson Beck, and they got torched. He had 7 passes over 20 yards in that game. That's why I think Tennessee has to not be stubborn. They got to make some changes, play a little zone, let their number one cornerback play the number one wide receiver for Ohio State, and then just let the chips fall where they may. Tennessee's defense has not allowed over 19 points in only one game this year, and that was the Georgia game. Ohio State's defense, they didn't give up over 17 points but one time, and that was the 32-31 loss to Oregon. So as far as I'm concerned, I think both coaches understand what the hell is going on here. When you got a great defense, you certainly don't want your offense to blow the game. They're not going to take chances. This is not Ole Miss playing. They're going to go for it on 4th down and 3 at their own 46-yard line. They're going to punt. It's cold out. They're going to try to make it a field position game and then see who it's like bend but don't break. Who breaks? Who finally breaks? Probably a turnover, maybe a big special teams play changes this game around. But as far as I'm concerned, it's going to come down to which offense can make that one big play, because that might be all it takes. Overall roster talent winner, Ohio State in a landslide. No doubt about it. They have way more better players. But when we look at the wide receivers that Ohio State has, they have the best running back tandem in the country. Both of these kids are almost, surefire NFL stars to be. They also have home field advantage. But there's one big but with this home field advantage that they have that I think is lessened than what the other 3 teams have in these 4 playoff games. And that's the fact that if they get behind early, they could lose this crowd, because Ryan Day is not liked right now. You cannot lose to Michigan ever, and he lost like a freaking zillion years in a row. So the pressure on this guy is overwhelming, and these fans are crazy. I've been there, but I've seen how it is in sports. I'm a Philadelphia guy, a season ticket holder to the Phillies. You don't win, and the fans will turn on you, boy. They turned on Santa Claus. It's going to be the same thing here. They better get off to a fast start, Ohio State, or I'll tell you, this Tennessee team will feel that momentum. They will see that shift, and that will just fire them up even more. But -7 to me is still the correct line. So, for that matter, we're not going to take a side. We're going to play the total here. We're going to go under 46.5. And it's a game I expect both defensive lines to make a lot of big plays, make it harder on the offenses to go down the field and have 10, 11, 12 play drives like these two teams are kind of accustomed to when they're playing cupcakes. If that's the case, again, it's just going to take one big play, maybe a sack, that'll end drives, one penalty, end drives, and I think it'll be a punting game. And basically, my favorite players in this game on Saturday night are going to be the punters. Let's go punters. Let's get it down there, kick it inside the 10-yard line over and over and over, and we'll get a nice, easy win. So happy holidays to everybody. We wish you all a happy one, and may all your wagers be winning ones. Be sure to bookmark us at Gary Wins Videos. And don't forget to check back for all our other previews, especially our Sunday night football game preview and our Monday night football game preview. And we're going to be loading up NFL betting nuggets. Don't miss that. That's got a lot of helpful information. If you don't have any time to do any homework, just listen to the betting nuggets, and you might be able to find a few good nuggets to bet on Sunday. Have a good one.